Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick video on the proper way, in my opinion, may not be the professional way, but the proper way to change seals. Uh, Now this one here, when I removed it, fell out of here. It was not glued in place, not by anything I could really see on there, which is, of course, explains why there's so much oil here. So, of course, it popped out, and it's actually in, pretty decent shape. But, of course, I'd never reuse a seal, not when they're only like $2-3 a piece to buy. You can actually use a claw or a seal puller, or you can use just a pair of pliers. This one I already had it shoved in here, but I never tried pulling it out yet. Decided I'd make a video. So I just go in like this, give it a little bit of a pull, and it comes right out. So again, this one here was installed dry. There's nothing used to seal it when the guy installed it. Nope, nothing. So that one there went in perfectly dry, which a lot of people I have seen doing that, but of course it's always going to leak. Now, if this was a two-stroke engine and I was doing the crank seals on a two-stroke engine where they have it, four strokes don't, normally don't. What I'd be doing differently is on a two-stroke, I would be using Loctite around the seal race and around here. I'd let it sit for about a minute and then I'd push it in. So the only thing different that I'm going to do on here, because it's not on the center crank, is I'm going to be using this. So it's liquid gasket, 1194. Semi-dry, and it's always a bit tacky. I find it works great for seals. Yama Bond, Honda Bond, there's all kinds of different names for it. I do not recommend using any kind of high heat silicone or any black RTV. That's not the proper stuff to do. If you're going to use this, use the blue Loctite or this shit. So, and then for the new seals, myself, I just bought a complete kit, which is normally your best bet. What I'm going to do is a thin layer all around the seal. Clean your hands first, you don't want to get any dirt in there, and then a thin layer in here, and then I'm going to push it in. You could also do this with it on the bike. It's just sometimes a pain in the butt with the shaft to get it off. I have shoved screws in there, there's different pullers, there's all kinds of different ways to get them out. But normally, it's easier, of course, if you got your case split like this. So I'm going to get this ready, and there's a few different ways you could push it in. Most seals have a metal race on them, and you just find a socket that fits it. See if I can find one here just to show you. This isn't the exact one I'm going to use, but just to show you. You don't want to normally use the front of the socket like that. Normally you would want to use the back side of the socket, just because it's more of a round spot. And of course this one here is not the right size. Normally you want one that fits better. This one here doesn't fit the best. And you just want to give it a slight little tap. You can see here how I did it on the inside. So you just put your wrench or your extension into a socket, and that way you got a nice flat area. Now you could also use the actual proper tools, the actual proper set, which I do have. It's just I'm not going outside to grab them. I'm working in the basement right now. Sockets work fine. You just always got to make sure they go in straight, and if they go in crooked, you don't, even if it goes in crooked once, I'd recommend replacing them, because good luck getting it out in one piece. So I'll start the camera again in just a few seconds. Oh, one more thing, always degrease. So run your degreaser in there, very important. You do not want any grease in there when you're doing it. So I'll do that in just a second. I know there's no grease in there because it came out of the parts washer. Okay, so what I did is I stuck a blob of it onto here, just so I'm not leaving the tube open, because everyone in the house just hates the smell of this stuff. It's always a little bit better when I start using this in the house. Oh, gee, it gets everyone high. So anyway, I always give it a little bit of a mix. And of course, you might want to wear gloves, because normally you do not want this on your hands. And thin coat around the entire thing. Don't worry, thin coat's all you need. You don't need to go overkill. You don't want it oozing out and actually touching the center of the seal. Because if that happens, your seal is going to burn out in pretty much no time. I know half of this might be off the camera, but hoping it's going to be good. Okay, so I got that all done on the inside. A little bit left over on my finger, but that's fine because I got to put it onto the edge of the seal. And once again, do not get any, which I almost did there. Give me a second. Do not get any whatsoever on the inside of the seal. If you do that, you're going to ruin it. It's just going to burn up. Same with on the outside here. So now I'm going to put some all around the edge. So just give me a second here. Just pretty much painting it. So it looks like that. Once again, do not put too much. That's half. Do the other side without trying to get it on the center, of course. And yes, this stuff normally is a pain in the ass to wash off your hands. Okay, so now some people, when they do this, they'll let it sit to kind of tack up a bit, but I'd prefer not to. Give me a second just to wipe my hand off, because I don't want to get any, again, on the center of it. So now, without touching the center with my dirty finger, use my pinky, you want to line it up and kind of start it with your hand. Sometimes you can actually get away with pushing them in with your hands. In this case, yes, you can see it went in excellent. I'm just kind of going around it here. A little bit higher at the top than the bottom, but that looks perfect now. Now, some people will wipe it off, but I always have bad luck wiping it off, getting it onto the center. So, just kind of wipe around it. The reason why I'm making this video is I have seen videos on YouTube that people said install your seals, and they never really tell people the proper way to do it. So I've seen too many people putting them in dry with no silicone on them, or loading them up with the improper silicone. And of course I got a little drop on the center there, which, there we go, popped off easy enough. Okay, and that is it. So once again, I'm going on the edges here, making sure I'm in there perfectly, and it is. And same thing for installing this. I don't need to let you guys watch that one. I'm sure this has been a very boring video for some people, but the reason why I'm making this video is my buddy of mine is going to actually be redoing his engine, and the last time he did his seals, well, let's just say out of about 3 seals he installed, no, actually, yeah, 3 seals he installed, every single one of them's leaking, and it's leaking bad. So this is the way I have been doing it for years, and have never had one leaking. Okay, sweet. Oh, and if you like this video, check out my YouTube channel. I got all kinds of crazy ass videos on there, and quite a bit of shit like this. Sweet. Okay, one more thing I thought I'd mention, because if I don't mention it, a lot of people might screw up. Very important when you're installing your shaft. Yeah, I have no idea where I put it. Oh, right here. You will want to coat that in oil, or better yet, if you have some actual assembly lube, and of course the inside of your seal. So that is very important in my opinion, because otherwise you're going to be running dry and it's not going to last very long. Okay, so one more thing I thought I might as well add to this video is when you're installing a seal like this one, where there's nothing at the back side, as you can see, there's nothing at the back side stopping it from falling all the way through. What you might want to think of doing, and I highly recommend, is watch it. So make sure it's in nice and flush, just like that. And within the first 15 minutes of installing it, you might just want to keep an eye on it, because I actually seen them as they're drying kind of turning, like kind of where one side actually pops out. So in this case here, this one's going in very, very straight. But again, I kind of recommend watching that, because I have seen them moving, and I know a few other places have too. Have also, I mean. So yeah, you might just want to think of that. So you don't want to have to wait another 2 weeks to order in the proper seal because it moved and you destroyed it. So just thought I'd kind of throw that into the video, maybe save someone some time and a headache in future sometime. Sweet.